Hello everyone, this is Brian and welcome to episode 28 of my reusable space program, now in KSP 1.02. So it's been like a month and a half since I produced my last video. My life has been very busy, and of course waiting for these mods to be updated has taken forever. So I have a new launch vehicle here with a new cargo lander on top. If you remember, the last cargo lander got pretty dinged up landing things on the moon. So I've got a new one here to put into orbit, and this is a new 3 3/4 meter booster. So because it is this one's first flight, I'm going to head and show this in detail. And I did a fairly good live recording for this, so I will let live me take it away. Okay, here we go. We got the LV375. This is the first flight, and it has a massive new 43-ton cargo lander up top. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Let's see if we can get this thing into space. Just 1.25 thrust to weight ratio, pretty slow off the launch pad. The lander does have a little bit of fuel in it, and it will have to, this booster will probably have to use some of that to make it fully into a circularized orbit. I'm going to roll the launch vehicle so that the horizon looks right when I finally pitch over. I keep it straight up until it hits about 100 meters per second and then start to pitch. And I completely forgot to target the station, so it's probably way off. Let's see. Yeah, station's on the other side of the planet. But this is going to need a manned mission up here and a refueling mission to fuel this thing up, so I guess it's okay. I'll just put it into low orbit. Okay, starting to pitch. Just keeping it right on the edge of that prograde vector there. Now that the atmosphere is getting a little thinner, I can start to pitch over a little more aggressively. It's going to be less likely to take control of the booster. Now, it is good to be back. It took a long time to get the mods going. I still don't have B9. I still don't have Lackluster Labs LLL pack. However, I am flying with the .90 LLLs, and I just went through with some help in the forums and fixed a bunch of stuff that was broken. So hopefully it'll work well enough until the release comes. And I still don't have SpaceX, though I'm using their parts too. I don't think that'll have, hopefully not too big effect on my game until that's all fixed up as well. And I don't know if you watched my tutorial on how to move a .90 save game into 1.0, but towards the end of it, I mentioned that I was abandoning my South Polar base in favor of a different location, and I realized that because I was just using Carbonite and the save game was the same, it was plenty fine to put a base in the same location. but I did move it up to a better, just a little nicer spot. And as far as the videos go, I installed a mod where I can adjust the ambient lighting so it won't be so dark. I'm going to jettison my fairing now. It'll save a little bit of weight. Oh, come on. I strutted that payload really well. It's wobbling already. Okay. Now, let's get the Smart SAS going. Just hold this prograde. Thank you very much. And let's add some fuel. About like that ought to do it. Open this up. That should be enough to circularize. Now to do this, because this is a little bit wobbly, I'm going to thrust limit this to about 50% here. This engine is super powerful. It could do 4 Gs with this payload on top right now, so that's why. And so now I'm just going to wait until the node and then do the burn. So we'll start this burn at 10 seconds. Oh, well, I'm not quite lined up with the node. All right, let's get the RCS going here to help out. Okay. Okay, periapsis is above the horizon. Just gonna wait till it hits about 80. There we go. Well, that burn wasn't very accurate. I ended up with kind of a messed up orbit anyway, but it's close enough. 107, apoapsis 76. Why am I still turning? Okay, here it comes back. All right, good. All right. You know, I just need to figure out in the VAB how much fuel to leave in this booster so that I can do my deorbit burn. I will be right back. Okay, so I decided I need about 40% of this small tank right here for the return to Kerbal. So let's get TAC fuel balancer out. And let's see, I think that this one, yeah, that's the one with 6%. Okay, that's where I want my fuel. So transfer in. $40. Okay, transfer in. Close enough. So that leaves a quarter of a tank up there. And I'm now ready for payload release. Just double check here. I'm going to open up some solar panels so this thing is ready to go. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go for release. And this is immediately doing weird things. Go ahead and extend out. So I went through many designs to get this right, and I'll show you a quick clip of what it looks like when it's landing something. But basically, a payload will be attached radially. So it's going to occupy kind of this space right here with its own legs, and the winch can reattach it later after it's dropped. So this will be assembled in space, and then once this does the landing, it can release the payload. Now the only thing, of course, is that I have to make sure these payloads are very well balanced side to side, and I'll use these cluster of engines here to adjust thrust to make sure that it's in balance while it's thrusting. The base was already there, so I did a quick landing, which I'll show you, what it would look like had I dropped it with this cargo lander. Okay, now let's get this launch vehicle back. Trajectories mod. So we're coming in, target KSC just like the old days. Retrograde, this may not be super accurate right now, they're still working on it, but I'm going to use it anyway. Okay, so there's my target, which means my node needs to be over here. Now I have 393 left. I'm going to burn out about 350 of that. So just like always, burn retrograde until I see that I'm using 350 of my fuel down here. If you watch the old series, you are very familiar with this process. Okay, usually I do 400. Now my inclination's 0.8, that should be accurate enough. I'm going to drag this. Whoa. Come here, you. Okay. Now the trajectories mod gives me the red X. MechJeb is giving me the blue X. And what's kind of amusing here is that they don't agree. Something like that. Just going to turn off MechJeb there. There. So that should give me just a little bit of altitude here. I'm going to cross over the KSC and I'll pop my parachutes, which will bring this red X back in. And if you don't know this mod, this red, where it becomes red is where you enter the atmosphere. This is where I'll actually touch down and the planet will rotate to this position by the time I make that landing. Okay, let's go ahead and face the node here. Actually, I need to do that. Let's hold it retrograde. Go around the planet a little bit. And no, I don't have the clouds mod installed right now. It hasn't been updated yet, and I'm tired of waiting. I just did that because the estimated burn time was NA. If you fire up the engines for a second or two, it will then give you a correct number. So I have to start my burn in 6 seconds. There's the lander. And it looks like it's tumbling. How did that happen? Oop. Okay, I may have overburned just slightly, but I will leave it at that. I think that's good enough. I'll probably land in the field between the hill and the KSC. Okay, 1.0 has these little temperature gauges that appear if you start to overheat. Or maybe that's a mod I have installed, I have no idea. During the long wait, I was installing mods and then not really checking them out, so... Looking pretty good, though. Uh-oh. 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 Yeah. The fuel is in the bottom. I don't know why I did that. I did one practice flight with this, and it was fine. Let's see, what could have changed? I don't know, but this is kind of scary. To get this right, I'm probably going to deploy one chute manually. So hopefully it survives getting flipped around. Nice and slow. Come on, easy does it. No? Alright, fine. Come on, turn it upright. And don't fall apart, please. Please, please, please. Yes. Just not land on a hill, we'll be okay. Ooh. Oh. I hit a little too hard, or maybe on probably because I was on a hill, I hit the uphill landing gear first and they couldn't take that impact, which is why they failed. So close. Level ground is right there. If it hadn't flipped over, I think this would have gone just perfectly. Lift off. Structural failure on linkage in the landing gear, yeah. That's exactly what happened. Okay, let's see, Space Center. See how much of this I can recover. Probably quite a lot, it's just a lot of little pieces here. Oh. Okay, that's the core. Okay, not too bad. Okay, let's troubleshoot that failure here. Why did it flip over? Well, I'm going to just empty all the fuel out to get it back into the state it was in when it decided to turn around. And if you look, I'm showing my mass and my center of lift. See the blue ball is the center of the lift? So it's coming down. It should have been stable. What I'm thinking here is that these are not updated to 1.0. Maybe their aerodynamics are not quite right. So until they're updated, I need to make a small change here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these fins just a little bit so that the center of lift is farther up, like say there. And hopefully next time that'll work. I gotta put this back together again. Okay, fuel it back up. And there we go. Save that. It should be okay. Alright, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching, and as always, fly with confidence.